Here, I'm posting just talk.
I guess we're live. Sorry about missing the pistol. It's all Jacobson's fault. Don't blame me and Corey here. But we're live with Moscow 5 against Navi in the first match of the day right now. Navi won the pistol round without losing any people, and then Moscow 5 bought Deagles in usual fashion and won the second round. And now Navi lost their Deagle by round, and they're in a save round now. So it's gonna be 3-1 most likely for Moscow 5.
You just say like, what chances do you give M5 versus Navi? Because I say you probably have to give Navi the favorite. I mean, I guess it's a pretty big win in Russia. What do you think?
A lot of the reason why Moscow 5 won MSI is the tournament used different map picking system by picking the maps before vetoing. I have to say Navi are the favorites in my eyes. I think they've always had a bit of a psychological edge against Moscow 5, who have never actually beat Navi in a match, I don't think. But Moscow 5's always had close games and pretty much always at least won a map in a best of 3. So the fact that it's a best of 1 definitely makes it a little more random, I guess, but we'll see. And we're here in the first fire round of the half now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say not playing. There's some default that they like to always run, so nothing too surprising just yet.
I was just gonna say, I think getting this win, whoever wins this is in a really good position for first in the group, and I think all these teams are gonna be looking for first with how stacked the tournament is. As long as no other upsets happen, I mean, getting second place could be devastating.
I think the biggest thing about getting second in this group is, unless some major upsets happen in Group A, all these teams know that the second placing team in this group is gonna face SK, and no matter how you look at it, I think Navi's the only team who you can say has a legitimate 50-50 chance in a best of 3 against SK. I think SK is a pretty decent favorite against both Fnatic and Moscow 5 in a best of 3. So even if they advance as second, it's not really I feel like I mean, Moscow 5 is probably blindly confident, but they still probably have to assume that it's not looking good. And now, while we've been talking, rounds open up quite a bit. Moscow 5's gotten 3 kills, Navi's gotten 2. It's a 3v2 right now with the bomb down in the A site. Hex down 18 health, and Markelov and Steny are just trying to retake the A site now.
Yeah, Fox died. Nice play by Dosia. Pretty nice shots there. Yeah,
and Dosia was really good throughout the whole MSI BD tournament last weekend as well. I think he's actually a fairly underrated player overall. I think he's by far the best Russian player right now.
Yeah, I think he's been the best Russian player for a while, but a lot of people didn't recognize it just because they didn't really have any great results, and people kind of blindly still said Lex and yeah, I definitely think that's Russia at least.
So if you're Navi, is this when you start getting a little worried? Knowing Navi usually is a pretty strong CT side team. I mean, one thing that I always like to talk about is this is a 100 Hz tournament, which evens out the Colt and AK a lot more. So even though both Navi and SK had 2 huge T sides at ESWC, that was on 75 Hz monitors. Usually, I would say Navi is a better CT side team than T side team. Is this when you start worrying if you're Navi, or are you still okay to lose more rounds?
Well, I mean, they really got to get be comfortable. I think 8 on Inferno is fine. I mean, getting 6 rounds on Inferno CT at this level might not be the greatest, but you know you're in that even playing field. So yeah, I definitely think they need to start stringing rounds together like right now in order to feel confident for the next half, or else it's going to be a huge uphill battle for them the whole time.
I feel like Moscow 5, by the way, is pretty good at doing what they just did, which is getting the trades in banana, and then instead of just rushing in B and possibly getting sprayed down by Starix, they just completely slowed down their game and basically are just taking their time, and it looks like Ramsha is gonna kill Zeus in the back here. Yep, and that should be another round for the Russians.
Yeah, that was a really big lurk by Rom right there. Zeus was kind of pulling up aggressive in the middle area. I think if he got that kill, it would have been a more even round, and Starks probably could have got that guy at B.
Yeah, I think Moscow 5 probably would have gone to B, and there's a good chance Navi would have won had Zeus killed Ramcha up middle, but I mean, Zeus pretty much knew he had to do something. He couldn't just sit in the side just in case Moscow 5 just executed in A 3 against 1, because he knew he wasn't going to kill more than 1 in that scenario.
And 1-on-2s when your player's at B is really hard because the rotate leaves like little to no time.
Yeah.
Far. And so I feel like that's one of the biggest problems with Inferno. If you don't have a clear idea of where they're going, and you have a slow, like late call where they get the bomb down right after they take a site, it makes the retake so much harder. Whereas like if you got early calls, you know, with bomb, you can kind of rotate halfway, and then you have time to work with.
Yeah.
But no time on this map, and it's really easy for T's to outplay you, or just, you know, screw with you.
And Moscow 5 is doing their slow default right now, just taking their time, and it looks like they're about to head up middle right now. Fox still has bomb under tower, and Heck just got dinged through middle, and it looks like Navi's about to take middle now, and he's flashing. And Starix gets 2 kills, Edward 1 of his own, and it looks like Moscow 5 is about to head up the A side.
Huge pick by Fox. I believe he was blind when he got that.
Yeah, that was a bit of an unnecessary peek from Senia in my opinion, especially considering Edward is also down to low health and it would have been a 4 versus 2. And now, basically, let's say Markelov only trades or dies, or lets Moscow 5 get into B side. This could be really bad for Navi.
Oh yeah, the B's totally for Navi's now. I mean, Fox with the op there, you gotta assume he can get one pretty easy pick if they get a little bit sloppy around the CT spawn area. But he's going passive, holding the back haul. It's kind of a weird... Dosia's going aggressive there.
He spotted Markelov.
I think he's trying to bait him into Fox, I think. It's a hard shot for Fox, but... he hits it.
And Starix with a 1 versus 1 here right now.
I had no time.
And he has no kit.
That was a huge round by Dosia.
That was a huge round by Moscow 5, and for Moscow 5 in general. I feel like both Markelov and Senia definitely made mistakes.
Yeah, I feel like with the setup that they had at A, like Stars had jungle and Edward kind of had that Hull's lane area. Like they were pretty safe. I felt like over there that like 1 kill was probably going wherever they went. Don't you feel like people like Markelov maybe should go closer to backhaul and just try to get that 1 Gayer kill? Because letting them in through the arch, you can win 2v3s really easily from B. It's not hard.
Yeah, I would even say a 2 versus 3 in Inferno's B with bomb down, with everybody having full health, and especially with Edward having 10 health. Like I would even go as far to say that terrorists were favorites as soon as they got the bomb down. So I think it was definitely a bit of a mistake by Markelov to let him in that easily. I feel like he should have tried to go for a pick. I mean, he definitely wanted to keep that 1-man advantage going in for the retake, but I think he should have tried. I guess putting a little more effort in trying to get that kill. It looks like he pretty much gave up.
Starks is actually flanking the underpass right now. He's flanking all of the players. Oh, Edek is.
Oh, and Edek. Edek is just sitting there. It looked like Starks is gonna get 2 kills.
Yeah, I think that was...
And the game has actually turned around a lot, because when you saw the piss run, weren't you just assuming that Navi was probably gonna be playing pretty well, start things off well by just winning without losing a single guy?
Yeah, they won flawlessly on that pistol. You know, Edward 3 kills. Since those 3 kills, he's got only 3 more. I mean, he is top rank for them, but Edward is our main rifler, and he's usually has a pretty big impact, I feel like, at the A site. And he needs to be putting up a bit more numbers.
Do you think Navi needs Markelov's off on this half too to have a chance at scoring rounds, or do you think they can win rounds by just rifling? I guess Starix is hopping now.
Yeah, I feel like when they first broke out in the scene and they started becoming that best team in the world throughout the first half of 2010, Starks actually was opping A the whole time, and only in the later half did they move Markelov over there and have him op right mid. And I never felt like their Inferno was the same when they did that, you know, moving the players, like Zeus to B and Starks to lane and Markelov to right mid. But then now going back seems to be almost worse than just keeping it, if you know what I mean. Like, I think they probably thought, like, oh, you know, why don't we just go back to the old setup that won us, you know, tournaments.
Yeah,
let us like beat top teams, and I think if they just stuck with it from the beginning, it probably would have worked. But going back and forth between major setup changes isn't probably the best idea.
Yeah, well, I also think like a big reason of why they changed was to avoid getting counter-stratted, because you know once you won like what 4 world championships and been the best team for almost the entire year without really any slip-ups, pretty hard to not get anti-stratted. And now it's getting to the point where Navi really needs to start scoring some rounds. Looks like they're doing a little aggressive push in middle.
I mean, M5's just taking it really slow. They're playing this half really smart. I mean, normally Moscow 5 is what I would consider one of the dumber top teams. Not meaning that they're like, you know, they don't know what they're doing, but they seem really puggy. And they've shown a lot of like teamwork, I feel like, this half. They've been using, you know, some middle executes with flashes and nades, and I think they're getting ready to do some sort of fake right now towards, and then go back to B.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Dosia and Edek in the Hall's window area, and a couple people posted at the bottom of Banana. This seems like they're going to go back to A.
Yeah, let's see. If they actually execute Halls in lane right now, it could look really bad for Navi because they only have 2 people playing there. It looks like they're gonna wrap.
Starks is getting smoked and flashed.
And Fox actually rushing in first with only a deagle.
Well, he had an op, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, you think they would send one of the AKers in first, and this looks like it's gonna be... Ooh, maybe not. Edek with 2 quick kills in a 1 versus 4.
Markov pretty far away. If he can get Starks, he has a chance.
This is also a round where Navi really can't afford to lose guns, because already losing those 2 extra guns to Edek now means one of their players has to buy without getting a drop. Markelov and Starix are obviously going to drop weapons, but one of the players isn't going to get one, and that's already going to break their money if they lose the next round without saving any guns. Meanwhile, if 4 of their players had survived, they could have easily just dropped 1 gun and still bought the following round, even if they were to lose this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things about when you're down on CT. You don't want to lose any dumb guns on the first gun round you win. It's one of the worst things you can do. Then they win the next round. You're dead, bro, with like 1-5, 2Ks.
Can someone just get dinked in Banana? I think it's Fox. He's down to 30 health. And there's a lot of Moscow 5 players in Banana, and Sani is going to get some action here soon. Gets the first kill. And he escapes with 12 health.
I always thought Sandman was a pretty decent B rotator, maybe one of the better ones. He seems to be able to pick the right sites, but so far this game he hasn't made that big of an impact.
Yeah, well that also depends a lot on his teammates' calls. It's obviously when you sit in CT spawn, there's only so much you can know yourself. Have to rely on your teammates. And it looks like Moscow 5 is at least gonna fake beef, not go in, while Dosia is gonna try to go for a peek out of Halls. And Dosia is just getting spammed in Halls right now. I'm not sure if Edward heard him, but he's down to 10 health.
Yeah,
as Moscow 5 just took over the B side, but Markelov is still hiding in the side. No one from Moscow 5 actually cleared it, and he's able to take out Eddie.
Right now, this is a really weird scenario.
Zeus with a big headshot that could have easily turned around. and Markelov's gonna get the defuse. That was